Welcome back at 6:14. We are hearing very different opinions of what Americans think of the government shutdown. Our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter David Culver traveled to Culpeper, Virginia, about 60 miles from Washington,
make the country better.
and listen to what people said.
And this is what you have to go through to get what you want.
We'll be in Montgomery County today when the president tells businesses what this budget battle means to them.
He will visit a construction company in the Rockville area. News 4's Megan McGrath is already there. Megan.
Well, Aaron, you can see the preparations in full swing behind me here. The president is using M. Luis in the backdrop of all this construction equipment to drive his point home that the shutdown is not good for business, not good for the economy or the American worker. Now, M. Luis is a construction company here in Rockville that specializes in asphalt and road construction. It is a woman and minority-owned company that has paved thousands of miles of road in the area. And it's the kind of business that the president says is being hurt by the shutdown and its impact on the economy.
One thing that I know the American people are tired of, and I have to assume the vast majority of businesses are tired of, is this constant governing from crisis to crisis. So in that sense, do we need to break that fever? Absolutely. We have to stop doing that.
And the president is due here in Rockville in a few hours. We'll, of course, have all of the details about his speech coming up on News 4 at midday. Reporting live in Rockville, Megan McGrath, News 4. Aaron, back to you.
All right, Megan, thank you. If you want to see the impact the government shutdown is having on local businesses, just head over to Pentagon City. Restaurants there count on federal workers and government contractors to keep them in business. Look what we saw when we stopped by a few of those restaurants yesterday, a lot of empty tables.
We had a 25 top that was supposed to be here for a happy hour. Because of furlough, obviously nobody went to work, so they didn't post.
One economist says the shutdown is costing the local economy about $200 million a day.
If the shutdown stretches on, some non-federal workers are now in the line of fire. Connecticut-based United Technologies Corporation says it may have to furlough more than 5,000 people if the government is still shut down by November. Some of those employees may not have that long. More than 2,000 could be furloughed as early as Monday in the division that makes Black Hawk helicopters because the government cannot approve spending on military products. Wall Street is starting to feel the effects of the shutdown, but the worst could be yet to come. Experts say the shutdown is one thing, but if lawmakers here in Washington also can't agree on what to do about the debt limit, the economy could suffer a huge setback. The last time lawmakers went head-to-head over the debt ceiling 2 years ago, Standard & Poor's downgraded its rating of U.S. bonds for the first time in history. And the president isn't offering much encouragement to Wall Street. The president told CNBC yesterday that the country's economy is, quote, in trouble if the shutdown and debt ceiling debate don't come to an end. Leaders at brokerage firm BTIG are warning clients that the fight over the debt limit is becoming more likely, making things especially tense on Wall Street. At the top of the hour, the Today Show will continue our coverage of the government shutdown. This morning, the president talks to NBC News about the budget battle as well as jobs and what it all means for the future of our nation. That's next at 7 o'clock, right after News 4 Today.
18 after the hour right now, a rash of stun gun robberies in D.C. Right now, D.C. police searching for a third suspect in the most recent incident. 2 teenagers were already arrested for the stun gun robbery that happened yesterday. It happened at this gas station on Georgia Avenue in the Petworth area. This was the 6th stun gun robbery in 10 days. Residents say they just don't feel safe.
We only think that the officials have stun guns. So if other people are having stun guns, that's more scarier, kind of take the community for granted.
Police say if someone is trying to rob you, don't put up a fight. It's not worth getting hurt. New this morning, Secretary of State John Kerry says Iran will have to prove it's not trying to develop nuclear weapons. This is the first time Kerry has spoken about Iran since Israel's prime minister called Iran's new president a wolf in sheep's clothing. Kerry made the comments in Tokyo. He's there for talks on the U.S.-Japanese security alliance.
We're getting new images in of a rare light show put on by Mother Nature. Check it out. It is the Northern Lights, or the Aurora Borealis. This was the view over St. Cloud, Minnesota. Beautiful. Northern lights show up when particles from Earth's atmosphere hit particles from the sun's atmosphere. As a result, we get to see bright colors roll through the sky. It doesn't even seem real that could happen.
Look at you and your science. Particles from the sun particles and that, and they do a little bit of this up in the. Good for you. Almost 20 minutes now after 6 o'clock. Wanted to get you up to speed on our forecast this morning. Tom Kierines in the Storm Team 4 Weather Center.
And good morning. Here getting reports of some rather cool temperatures compared to yesterday afternoon. Some locations have dropped 30 to 35 degrees since we reached the mid and upper 80s on Wednesday afternoon. So we are starting off cool this morning, and this time of year, whenever we get an autumn heat wave, that's the type of thing we get, roller coaster temperatures, and it is down into the 50s. And look, down just near 50 out in much of West Virginia, parts of the Shenandoah Valley, closer to Washington, upper 50s in the nearby suburbs in Prince George's County, Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, and Falls Church, and Montgomery County. Right in the district, it's in the low 60s, low to mid 60s right on the bay. But we're going to have a rapid warm-up today again, but we'll have more clouds around today than yesterday. Here's your temperature graph. By noontime, it should be near 80, and then by mid-afternoon, reaching the low to mid 80s rather than upper 80s like we did yesterday, and no record highs expected for the next several days because all the records are well above 90 degrees all the way between now and October 11th. Here's your Storm Team 4 four-day forecast. Overnight tonight, a lot of clouds around, 70s through this evening. We'll be in the low 60s tomorrow morning. Then during the day on Friday, partly cloudy, another hot afternoon, reaching the mid to upper 80s briefly by mid to late afternoon. Then Friday night should be partly cloudy. Saturday and Sunday, both days partly cloudy, highs into the mid 80s. Storm Team 4 7-day outlook. Monday, we could get some needed rain. That will cool things down. Highs in the 70s. That's going to be the end of the heat wave. On Tuesday, maybe a lingering shower. Wednesday, sunshine back. Highs 70s through the rest of next week. I'm back in 10 minutes with a hometown forecast. Danella, how's traffic?
Good morning. In the First Word Traffic Center, here's what I'm tracking, Tom. For folks traveling in Manassas, earlier this morning, your southbound lanes of Brentsville Road were closed. At Dumfries Road, it just reopened. Here's a live look from Chopper 4. If you're traveling southbound in this direction, you may see a little more volume than you normally would because, again, those southbound lanes were blocked for some time. But the intersection is clear, so traveling in this area, no issues for the folks in Manassas. That's good news. Back over to Newington, though, I-95 northbound in the HOV lanes. The earlier accident involving a motorcycle, this is at Fairfax County Parkway, had the left lane blocked. That left lane is still blocked while crews are working. So just getting a closer look, you can see left lane blocked. They're still in the road here, so you'll have to stick to the right lane to get by as you're traveling in the HOV lanes. Expect delays this morning, not only in the HOV lanes, but also in the main lanes. Here's your main lane drive time, 18 minutes from the Occoquan River Bridge to the Beltway.
Danella, thank you. 6:22 is your time now. News 4's Millette Green is following breaking news at the live desk. Millette?
On right now, the frantic search for survivors continues near southern Italy after a terrible accident at sea. The death toll now up to 82, a pregnant woman and a toddler among those who perished in what's being described as one of the deadliest shipwrecks in recent times, and the second one this week in those same waters. We're getting reports that more than 150 have been rescued so far from the ship that's almost entirely underwater. It's possible as many as 500 African migrants from Somalia and Eritrea, desperate to flee to Sicily, packed this vessel. Reports say it caught fire and began to sink after flares were set off to alert other passing ships. That is the latest from the live desk. I'm Millette Green.
6:23 right now. The government shutdown is leaving its mark all over the country. Of course, in Texas, nearly 40 parks operated by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are closed. Those closures forcing those fishing, hiking, or camping in the parks to look elsewhere for those outdoor activities. And in Florida, the spokesman for the National Hurricane Center is on furlough, but almost all other operations are normal. Forecasters, technical staff, and front desk staff will remain at work during the shutdown. However, they can't answer phone calls or emails. The NOAA website is also unavailable. In California, the shutdown has a group of NASA interns without jobs or housing. Their situation this morning is going viral, too. Someone tweeted a picture of a bulletin post. Now that community center is working with interns there who come from all over the country by connecting them with programs at tech companies in Silicon Valley.
6:23 now. New this morning, another leak at the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan. An operator there says a tank with highly contaminated water overflowed. More than 100 gallons of water spilled over a period of much as 12 hours. The leak may have sent the contaminated liquid into the Pacific Ocean. This is the second such leak in less than 2 months. And take a look at this video. This shows the Tesla Model S sedan on fire, sent the electric car company's stock tumbling 6.2% yesterday. This happened near Seattle. No one was hurt. A company spokesperson says the driver hit a large metallic object, sparking a fire in the vehicle's battery pack.
If you live in Prince George's County, you may soon have new parks for your dog to get some exercise. The county plans to build new dog parks as its population grows. That's according to the Gazette. The county could add 6 new parks over the next 30 years. There are already 3 dog parks in Prince George's County.
You may want to go to sleep early tonight. A new study finds a tired mind may lead to a tired feeling body. British researchers compared the physical endurance of 10 men, once after they played a difficult word game for 90 minutes and once after they watched a 90-minute movie. They found the men tired 13% faster after the computer test than after the movie, even though their muscles were equally fresh.
We have much more to tell you about the government shutdown in our next half hour. As hundreds of thousands of federal workers are on furlough, some members of Congress are offering to work without pay. The local lawmakers on that list. Plus, keeping people away from the war memorials on the National Mall, the offer to write a big check to open them back up to everyone.
And most of us are seeing the temperatures climb already this morning. The warm up ahead in your weather and traffic on the 1. 6:25 is your time now. We'll be right back.